Okay, let's talk World War III. Catchy title, terrifying concept. Basically, it's the big one, the sequel to the sequel nobody asked for. Imagine a global conflict, but instead of grainy footage and charmingly inaccurate rifles, we've got drones, cyber warfare, and enough nuclear firepower to turn the planet into a radioactive fondue pot. Fun, right? The fear surrounding World War III isn't exactly new. It's been a low-grade hum in the background since those mushroom clouds taught us that science can be terrifying. But hey, at least duck and cover drills gave us a chance to nap under our desks. Modern problems require modern anxieties, I guess. The thing is, talking about World War III isn't like debating the best Beatles album. This isn't some abstract concept we can kick around over a pint. The stakes are a tad higher than arguing whether Sergeant Pepper was overrated. It wasn't. This is about the potential for widespread destruction and suffering on a scale most of us can't even fathom. So, no pressure. History, despite its best efforts, keeps trying to teach us things. World War I started with a wrong turn and a dead archduke, ended with millions dead and a whole lot of bitterness. World War II, fascism, appeasement, and a moustache that could curdle milk from across the room. The takeaway? Humans, particularly those in power, can be remarkably bad at avoiding catastrophic mistakes. So what are the warning signs? Well, for starters, let's look at the things that tend to kick off global conflicts. Nationalism on steroids, economic instability that makes the stock market look like a bouncy castle, and enough political tension to power a small city. Sound familiar? It should, because it's basically the news every night. Of course, it's not all doom and gloom. We've also learned from our mistakes, right? We created the United Nations, a sort of global therapy session with slightly more veto power. We've fostered international cooperation and dialogue. We've even managed to avoid blowing each other up with those aforementioned nukes for a few decades now. Progress. And now let's talk about the here and now, the greatest hits of global tension that keep us up at night. We've got rising authoritarianism, making the world stage look like a casting call for a dictator-themed reality show. Economic inequality is soaring, with the gap between the haves and the have-nots wider than ever. And don't even get me started on climate change, which is basically Mother Nature tapping her foot and waiting for us to get our act together. Then there's the whole nuclear weapons thing. We've still got enough of these planet crackers lying around to make the dinosaurs jealous of their extinction event. And while mutually assured destruction might sound like a great band name, it's a terrible foreign policy. The thought of a single miscalculation, a technical glitch, or a leader having a particularly bad hair day triggering Armageddon is enough to make anyone reach for the antacids. So, are we doomed? Is World War III inevitable? Look, I'm a comedian, not a fortune teller, but if there's one thing history has taught us, it's that the future is rarely set in stone. It's a constantly shifting landscape shaped by our choices, our actions, and yes, even our mistakes. Diplomacy, as boring as it may sound, is still our best bet. Talking, negotiating, finding common ground. It's not always glamorous, but it beats the alternative. We need to invest in international institutions, strengthen global cooperation, and address the root causes of conflict, from poverty to inequality to climate change. It's a tall order, sure, but the alternative is unthinkable. So let's not give in to fear or cynicism. Let's remember that we, the people, have a say in this. Let's demand better from our leaders, hold them accountable, and work together to build a more peaceful and just world. Because the only thing worse than imagining World War III is knowing we didn't do everything in our power to prevent it.